Hello and welcome inside the High School Huddle. Along with Ronnie Phillips, Phil Nichols, Chris Evans with you. We get ready for the 2023 football season. We take a look at the 2A Millwood Falcons. They were in the state championship a year ago, trying to get back there again this year. Got some great athletes on offense and defense. We'll talk about that. Talk about the season schedule and what we think their records will be in the regular season. But before we do that, let's hear from one of our great sponsors here on the High School Huddle. The High School Huddle is presented by Generations Church. Love God, love people, serve both well. Contact Generations Church by calling 405-282-6848 or visit them online at generationsguthrie.com. Darwin Franklin always has the Falcons playing deep in the playoffs, and they did a year ago. 13-2 Washington Warriors, 3 points better than the Falcons, 17-14, and a very fun, chilly day over at UCO.
It was windy that day.
It was windy, but I certainly think Millwood will have another fighting chance to get back to the championship game. A lot of people have Warriors winning that game or winning a state championship, but I think Millwood could get in there. And hey, we saw how close it was last year.
Well, I can see a repeat of last year's state championship game very easily. I think they're definitely the cream of the crop in 2A. I think these two teams kind of separate themselves from everybody else a little bit. I think you got, much like in some other, I think 5A is very similar. You got the top two teams, and I think there's a second tier, just a notch below those teams. Millwood, as you said, Coach Franklin always has them ready. Very classy guy. I really enjoyed visiting with him before the state championship game last year in the kickoff. Got to go down the field and spend some time with all the coaches, and he's first class. Really does a nice job. Love the way he runs his program. Very disciplined. Really has high expectations for those kids. A no-nonsense kind of coach, but a guy that also understands today's athletes. So he's a guy that is not getting passed up by. He is staying current, great football coach. He'll have them ready. I think Millwood, athletes everywhere. I think they're that team that I just going into it, I think it's Millwood and Washington is the class of 2A.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. They got athletes everywhere, and one of my favorite athletes in basketball and football all over the state is Jaden Nichols.
Yeah.
Dude is a straight stud. Yeah. He's an athlete. He can go get him. And we saw him watching the state championship game after they won their state championship game. Guy can dress too. The guy's got some swag on him, boy. So I like watching Jaden Nichols in both sports.
Yeah, he's a highlight waiting to happen.
Absolutely.
6'3", 6'4"?
Yeah, he's in there.
Yeah, he can go get it.
Yeah, they got
6'3".
Okay.
Yeah, 6'3".
Xavier Thompson, Jaden Nichols, Levine kid, they have some athletes. They always have athletes, but a little special this year. Millwood's got a proud tradition over there in their trophy case as well. They got a lot of trophies at Millwood. Let's take a look at their season schedule here in 2023. And that's a tough one. Right? We were just talking all about the Millwood Falcons, and let's slow down a little bit. Game one, right out of the chute, is Heritage Hall, the defending 3A state champion. So Millwood bouncing up a class, taking on Heritage Hall before the big Soul Bowl.
Yeah, and I think that, of course, Soul Bowl's a big tradition here in the Oklahoma City area. That's always a fun game. We're going to play Scott City, Kansas as well. I look for them to go up to Kansas, get a win there. I look at the rest of their schedule. I don't see anything. I see one game and one game only, and that's that Heritage Hall game where there's a chance that you're going to see two teams. I think Heritage Hall will be in the state championship game in 3A. I think Millwood's going to be in the state championship game in 2A. I think you're going to see two of the best small ball programs in the state, Lockhorns in week one of play, and that's going to be a well of the ball game.
Yeah, no doubt. Levine, by the way, is committed to North Texas, and Nickens will have a choice of where he wants to go after he decides football, basketball.
Well,
what you want to see, football or basketball?
Oh, man. He's so much fun to watch in basketball.
He is fun to watch in basketball.
He's so good.
What's basketball?
It's what other guys do during what men do during
what the girls play when the men are wrestling.
Nickens plays above the rim.
No, he's a freak athlete. I want him to play football, but I mean, he's being recruited Power 5 in both schools.
Yeah.
So he's a special athlete. You don't see those kind of kids come around not very often at all.
Ralph Lauren might snatch him up first and give him a contract.
Good-looking kid, too. Swag,
no doubt about that.
No doubt.
Season records, we all three have them 9-1. The only hiccup is at the beginning of the season against a very talented Heritage Hall team who compete in 3A, 2A, 4A, And I bet they'd give Carl Albert a run a little bit in 5A football as well.
Yeah, so. I think Millwood, when they go out and play Heritage Hall, I think that's going to help them for the entire season. They'll help them see where they're at, and that might give them a chance against Washington in the state championship game. You never know.
Well, and I see that game being a close game. I don't see this being a 45-17 type deal. I see this being
it'll be competitive.
I think it'll be very competitive. I think if the right things happen, it could be a one-score game. And if Heritage Hall comes out and lays an egg, it could be a W for Millwood. I mean, you just don't know. There's this guy named Bass.
Yeah.
When we were talking about Heritage Hall earlier, I was thinking about the Millwood team. And I'm going, maybe that's one where they could lose. And I had this vision of Bass running for almost 300 yards in the state championship game. Then I had that vision of him standing there. He looks like a Greek god. I said, no. I mean, he's going to be a lot to stop.
I think Coach Franklin's got to keep the Falcons a little bit motivated throughout their schedule toward the end. I think there's a lot of
heavy, a little bored there.
Yeah,
he could
make sure they stay motivated and ready for the playoffs. And Coach Franklin's one of the best to ever do it in high school football.
Oh, he'll have him there.
He will definitely have him ready to go. We'll be ready to go August 16th. That is the High School Huddle's weekly show every Wednesday night at 6 o'clock, and we'll have videos throughout the year as well. Check us out. Go to YouTube and subscribe and like Second Banana Media. And you can also find us on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and also secondbananamedia.com is where you can find High School Huddle and many other podcasts as well. We invite you to check that out. Best of luck this year to the Millwood Falcons. Should be a fun year for them. Also, best of luck to your high school football team. We'll see you soon here on the High School Huddle.
The high school.
Jones is up. Jones.
What happened there? Was that a remix?
I gave you a referral this week.
Yeah, I do appreciate that. I think that place is bad. It was bad.
Oh, did you go spray it?
Herzl, yeah, he called.